KOCO5 Sports with Brian Keating.
Coming up next on the big show, it is Bedlam week in the state of Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, that's what we came back for. That's what we're here for.
Why the Sooners will win in an upset.
That's what we want. We want to win.
And why the Cowboys will win the Big 12 championship.
No regrets and no remorse. That's all we've talked about.
Plus, Kevin Durant on triple-double watch.
KD for three.
As the Thunder try to stay unbeaten at home. It is next on KOCO5 Sports. Hey everybody, welcome into the big show. I am Sports Director Brian Keating. Hey, we're talking Bedlam football. Big week in the state of Oklahoma. We will go in depth throughout the show, but we got to start tonight at the Peak. The Thunder hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves, trying to go to 9-0 at home. And Kevin Durant, in the simplest of terms, Kevin Durant was good from coast to coast, making it look easy. Thunder down 7 at that point. Didn't play great in the first half, but if you let them run, they will eat you alive. KD easy from there. They were down 6 at that point, and here they go again. Kevin running the floor, and Tabo with the feed this time. Oklahoma City down 3 at halftime, down 5 to start the fourth. Kevin, oh, did he end that run. Finished with 32 points and 10 rebounds. Thunder really took over late, but he needed 2 assists for a triple-double. That's assist number 9 to Serge. And number 10, it came 60 seconds later. This time it's a dime to Russ. 4th career triple-double for one of the best players on the planet. 32 points, 10 boards, 12 assists, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and the Thunder win again.
Kevin is a stat filler. He can do it all. I mean, he has the ability to have large scoring nights, rebounding, assists, and steals and block shots. He's one of the few guys that can do that. He's a great player. You know, he loves the game. He loves playing with his teammates, and he does a great job of finding them, getting them involved.
Kevin Durant, spectacular. Thunder now stay perfect at home, 9-0. They sweep their 6-game homestand. The feeling in the locker room, hey, our man on the inside, we're going there. Carson Cunningham joins us live in the newsroom.
I tell you, Brian, the Peak was rocking yet again tonight. That 9-0 home record, the best in the NBA. And this is how tough it is to beat Oklahoma City at the Peak. They've entered the fourth quarter trailing 5 times at home. They won all 5. So needless to say, the feeling in the locker room was a good one.
It feels great. That's a goal that we set for ourselves. To go out here and just win each game on this homestand these 2 weeks. So to actually get it accomplished is great.
We knew it was going to be one of the tougher stretches we had here in a while, and you know we didn't try to look too far down the line, and you know it was very fortunate that they would be home for almost 2 weeks.
And the way that we've done it for some of these games, it's been somebody different, night in, night out, but we've been getting done collectively.
And try to protect our home floor. So, you know, it was a good stretch, and it's time to take it on the road.
As much as they like playing at home, Brian, Jeremy Lamb told me he likes playing on the road better. That's a good thing. 5 of the next 6 are away from home. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, perfect at home. They've been great. Now, what a week. Great homestand, 6 straight wins. Here's what's on tap, though. He said they're going on the road. They are. Starting on Tuesday against the Sacramento Kings, and then Wednesday night against the Blazers. They've been really one of the surprises in the NBA. And that big one, circle it up. Next Sunday night, Pacers coming to town. Next time they'll be at the Peak. All right, stay with us on the big show. We are breaking down Bedlam. We'll tell you how the Sooners win and the Cowboys bring home a championship next.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
It's getting larger.
welcome back into the big show. Before we get to football, a little hoop in December. Finals of the Old Spice Classic in Orlando. Pretty good night for Phil Forte and the Cowboys. OSU up 10 at halftime, but the Memphis Tigers wouldn't go away. Took a 3-point lead there, 59-56. Cowboys in trouble, and then Phil Forte, right place, right time, and he'll knock that down. OSU still alive at that point, down 1, 15 seconds to go. Who do you go to? Marcus Smart, except Marcus Smart turns it over. Might have been sick. He had a bout with the trash can tonight, but didn't have his best night. Had 5 turnovers, just 12 points, 2 turnovers in the final minute. Cowboys lose 73-68. Meanwhile, back at home, a couple of wins for the ladies. Sooners get a win against Creighton. Sherane Campbell had 25, and the Cowgirls stay unbeaten. Liz Donahoe had 27 for OSU. And hey, since we're talking Bedlam, how about Bedlam on the mat? Round 1 in Norman today. The Cowboys led this thing 15-3, and here come the Sooners. They win the final 4 matches. They complete the comeback and stun OSU. Ross Larson locks it up, the heavyweight there. So Bedlam round 1 on the mat goes to the Sooners. I would say it's going to be a fun week, isn't it? I'm Sports Director Brian Keating alongside Abigail Ogle. Okay, let's talk football. Bedlam here.
Most wonderful time of the year.
There you go. I like the way you say that. Bedlam roles reversed a little bit here between the Sooners and Cowboys. And Las Vegas actually has the Cowboys as a double-digit favorite, which I don't know that surprises that they're the favorite, but double digits, I would say, maybe a little surprising.
That's a big deficit there that they think the Sooners are going to lose by. Here's a list of the different lines. 10.5, 11.5 points, and role reversal going on. OU has won 9 of the last 10, and of course we know the series is very lopsided, but the Sooners could be playing the role of spoiler.
That's what they're trying to play, because the Cowboys trying to win the Big 12 championship. The Sooners kind of trying to come in and play the role of spoiler. I got a couple questions for you here. True or false? If the Sooners run for 250 yards, they'll win the game.
I think this is true. They average about 240 rushing yards per game. If they exceed that average, I think they win. And if they're rushing that well, that means Knight doesn't have to pass as much, which means they're not as likely to get intercepted, which means they're more likely to win.
I like that philosophy, and I think it's true as well. The Sooners average about 242, so they get to 250, exceed their average. Here's the thing for me, in their 2 losses, against Texas, they ran for 130, and against Baylor, just 87. They got to run it. Bob Stoops thinks so too.
We've done a better job as a team blocking downfield and allowing in some of the design of our runs too, and the quarterback's ability to run to help split people a little bit, where it's given us some big opportunities.
All right, let's switch sides here. So OSU, they've scored 48 points in the starts made by Clint Shelf the last 5 games. So true or false? The Sooners hold OSU to 35. They will win the game.
I think that's true also. If they hold OSU to 35, they win. Now, OU has averaged about 32 points per game this season, but if you look at their last 2 games, they scored 48 against ISU, 41 against Kansas State. The offense is really picking up. I think OU can score more than 35 points now with their offense, and if they hold OSU to 35, I think they can exceed it.
I think it's false, because I don't think OU can score 35 points. Their defense has to play out of this world, I think, for them to win on Saturday, because with Knight as the starter, they just averaged 30. It's going to be a heck of a week, though.
Hopefully come out with the win, play with a lot of toughness, and just hopefully stop their run, keep our offense on the field, get a lot of 3 and outs, and hopefully come out with the win.
I don't know how much will change. We've got to make sure that we're playing within our system and that we're executing the plays that we have all year. It really hasn't changed much.
Hadn't changed, but they've been scoring more points. That's changed. Stay with us on the big show. It is time for Pick 5, more Bedlam football. Counting down to Saturday. Do not go away. Welcome back to the big show tonight. Little what's the word time?
You
Pick
love
five.
word
I
games.
do. I like that.
So do I.
Justin Gilbert named one of the finalists this week as the best defensive back in the country.
It's shocking. It was totally unexpected from not being on the I think it was the top 15 semifinalists. Just to make that jump for me was an impressive jump.
All right, big jump. But is he the best player? The best player, on the field this Saturday will be blank.
I jumped back and forth between Calvin Barnett and Justin Gilbert, but I am going to go Justin Gilbert. He's the best player. He's likely to be drafted the highest. And Trevor Knight's going to have to throw the ball, which means Gilbert, who already has 6 interceptions on the season, is likely to get another one.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the country at doing that. I like it, Calvin Barnett, but hey, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to say Clint Shelf's going to be the best player on the field. And I say this in his last 4 games. He's got 15 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions.
You think he'll be better than Justin Gilbert?
Yeah, because 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's going to have the ball all the time. Justin Gilbert needs somebody to throw it at him. He'll have a bigger impact.
Gotcha.
The last few games, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He looked
better than Bryce Petty. Absolutely.
He did, no question. 4 touchdowns against Baylor and Texas.
Neither of us said Trevor Knight. Neither of us said
you're right.
Saunders.
No, neither of us said Trevor Knight. It's his second start on the road this Saturday in Stillwater. But you know what? He's never lost as the starting quarterback for the Sooners.
He's a great athlete. I think it's obvious as soon as you see him pull the ball down and run is how fast he is. He's got great speed, and those are some things that allow him to separate from people and to make big plays.
All right, what's the word? Pick 2. Trevor Knight has to be blank for the Sooners to win.
For the Sooners to win, Trevor Knight has to be Manziel-esque. He played him on the scout team last year as OU prepped
no
for
pressure
A&M
kid, right?
in the Cotton Bowl. And we heard his performance in that role as Johnny Football is what won him the starting job. And I don't know if the OSU defense could stop Johnny Football, Trevor Knight, Manziel. So that's what I'm going to say. He has to be Manziel-esque.
So what you're telling me is he has to be as good as a Heisman Trophy winner for OU to win on Saturday.
I think that would be a good place to start.
I think that would be a good place to start. I don't know if he has to be that good. Hey, I think he has to be a passer because he's not just going to be able to line it and run it. And that OSU defense is number 1 in the Big 12 against the run. So Trevor Knight's going to have to throw the football. Against Kansas State, he was very efficient, 14 out of 20, just 20 passes. I don't think that's going to be good enough in Stillwater. I know it's going to be cold.
Kansas State's a little bit different than Oklahoma State.
Best defense against the run in the Big 12. They're not just going to be up to pound it. He has to throw the football. He's got to make some plays. So I guess it's time to pick a winner. Cowboys will try to win their 2nd Big 12 championship in 3 years.
We're going to have our best game and play lights out and play physical, and it's going to be a battle. I know it is.
It's one of the biggest rivalry games in the country. Going against an in-state rival, that's going to mean a lot to the fans, and fans mean a lot to us.
Okay, pick 3. Blank will win Bedlam.
We always say crazy things happen in rivalry games, especially Bedlam. We can throw out the record book, but the bottom line is Oklahoma State will win. They have the better offense and they have the better defense. They're going to win.
We say crazy things happen, but in this rivalry, there's only a couple of times the better team hadn't won.
That's true.
2 years ago, OSU was the better team that beat Oklahoma. Last year it was more even, but really just the 2 Rashawn Woods seasons a few years ago.
The 16-13
it's the only time that really I think the better team didn't win this game. You said it. OSU's the better team. They've won 7 straight. The last 3 weekends, the last 3 wins, they've outscored their opponents 129-36.
And they're
That's
playing
Kansas, Texas, and Baylor. They're playing at home. They're the better team. They're going to win the game.
I agree.
Going to win the game.
Too.
All right. There is another Big 12 championship game on Saturday?
I did know that.
Okay, all right.
Sort of.
It's in Waco, Baylor, Texas.
That's what you want. I mean, you want to be in a room full of fighters and believers, and that's what we have. I mean, these guys, if you say it's not going to happen, they're going to find a way to make it happen. I mean, we have tough players, and we have guys. We have a tough football team, and they've done a great job, and that's why they've done the things they've done this year.
Texas Baylor just lost once in the Big 12, so they got a chance. They're playing for a Big 12 championship. Pick 4. Texas' chances of winning the Big 12 championship are blank.
Oh, Brian, I think they are about 10%, honestly. They're playing Baylor in Waco.
You don't like Mac, huh?
Not that I don't like Mac, and I don't think that Texas is a bad team, honestly. They're playing Baylor in Waco. Baylor's still first in the country in points per game. Baylor beats Texas.
You know what? I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said whoever won in the OSU-Texas game was going to win the Big 12. I still believe that. I think Texas' chances of winning the Big 12 title are superb. I think they're going to beat Baylor. I think Baylor cannot stop them on the ground. I think they're going to be big and physical with those running backs. I think, Bergeron and Brown, they're going to look like Ricky Williams and Cedric Benson. I think they're going to win the game.
That's a big stretch.
Hey, maybe you heard Russell Westbrook. He hit a big shot this weekend to beat the Warriors.
As a kid, you go dribble the court 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and shoot it. But I think that particular moment was a little different. Nah, man, we're going to keep going to Kevin long as he, continue to make shots. He's our #1 option.
Pick 5, Russell Westbrook's game winner was blank.
His game winner was, OMG, did that just happen, all in one word. That's what everyone was thinking. Even the Golden State Warriors were thinking, OMG, did that just happen. That's all I could think of. I mean, that's the only word you can say, and it's not a word.
Russell's game winner was loud, and I say that because I'm sitting in the newsroom getting ready for the show, and we're all gathered around the TV, and he made it. And what did everybody do? They screamed and jumped up and down, and I can't believe
that just happened.
It's kind of like that. His game winner was loud. Who's winning the internet? It's coming up next. Stay with us here, and here's a hint. Who's winning the internet took a bit of a turn this week. I mean, at least for OSU, they didn't win tonight. Didn't play very good.
How cute is that?
But they're in Orlando. They went to Disney World.
In front of Cinderella's castle in the teacups, Markel Brown and Brian Williams.
I mean, they got cool pictures. Didn't get a trophy.
But they got to hang out with Goofy.
Can't beat that. We'll see you.
Thanks for watching.